Hey guys, it's Justine from All This in Motion Boston, bringing you some lower back stretches that you can do during pregnancy. I want to start with some really basic ones. So you've probably seen these before, but it's always good to start with some foundations before we make them harder. So I like to start on all fours and do cat-cow. And so you've probably seen this in yoga, but you can even just start right in a flat back position, equal weight on both sides, and just do some nice diaphragm belly breathing here. This alone can be a nice little stretch for the lower back, because breathing is so important. But from here, we take a nice little breath in, and we let our head drop down, back arch up. And we let it all the ways out, and you can add a little bit of a arch here. That's the biggest difference between cat and cow in pregnancy versus not, is that when you're pregnant, you don't have to be going for these crazy arches to get the stretch. You can just stay right here. Even if this is as far as you can go into extension, that's okay too. We're not trying to be super arching in the back, as that can put added pressure into where the baby is. Of course, another stretch you can do straight from that position that feels really comfortable is child's pose. If you're in your third trimester, a pillow can be helpful right here, or a bolster just to give you some extra support. But I'm 23 weeks, so I can still reach down to the floor without one. I like to keep the legs wide, knees splayed out a little bit more, just so that we have a little bit more room and comfort here. Of course, only go as far as you can, but we take a nice little breath in, and we reach forward. And you can relax your head down, you can relax the arms. We don't want to feel any pressure in our upper body as we're trying to stretch out the lower body. And you can stay here as long as you'd like and do a couple of breaths. If you want to work on the side body, a nice easy way to do it is to reach one side. I might come up a little bit so you don't feel like you're twisting too hard. And whichever side you're reaching to, the opposite side is the side that you're working. So I'm reaching to my left, I'm feeling it in my lower right. Perfect. But one of my favorite old school stretches that you've probably seen a million times is the figure four stretch, to really focus on that glute and hip, because the glutes are always involved when it's low back, at least most of the time, and especially in pregnancy with all those ligaments and changing positions here. But you take one leg and you're just gonna like crisscross it over the other. So in this position, I have my right leg up and I have my left down. I'm gonna take my left, or the foot that's down, and walk it towards my glutes. And so you can see that a little bit more. I'm gonna step to the side. You don't wanna be like crazy slouching or anything like that in the back, but so to be nice and comfortable leaning back as you need to. And you can just bring that foot in and bring that foot in to make it harder. And sometimes a nice little stretch if you sway side to side, if you'd like. If it's not that comfortable, if you've got tighter glutes than I do, it's always easy to come back down here. You'll get a nice little stretch. You can do this seated. You can do it lying down if you prefer. I know in second and third trimester you don't usually like to spend as much time on your back, but it's always an option. Perfect. And there's so many variants from there, but we will certainly dive deeper into them. And as always, if you have any questions, never hesitate to ask.